This is for Year 10 Methods Pathways. We'll look at exercise 4.1. And 4.1 is all about solving equations. So solving quadratic equations. So let's look back at the theory of solving an equation. Okay, so if I have A times B equals 0, then by the null factor law, that then either A equals 0 or B equals 0. Okay, so that's the logic from the null factor law. Because one of them must equal 0 or both have to equal 0 in order for you to get a result of 0. So the idea is you want, before you can even solve something, you always want one side to equal 0. As you can see, we don't have a 0 in this case. So what we have to do is we have to move one of the terms to one side, okay? So I'm going to move the 2x over to the left-hand side. So if I want to move 2x to the left-hand side, I just subtract 2x from both sides. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've got 0 on one side. That's great. That's what we want. Now, the next thing that we want is we want a product happening on the other side, on the left-hand side. Okay. The only reason why that is because in order to apply the null factor law, we have something times something equals 0. So either the first something equals 0 or the second something equals 0. So this won't do as is because that's 4x squared minus 2x. So let's factorize this. Okay, so we've got 2x 2x minus 1. Okay, like I said, always double check that when you expand it, you get what you factorize. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times -1 is -2x. Great, we've factorized it correctly. Now, as you can see, we've got two products times each other equals 0, which is what we're after. Great. Okay, two products. So either the first product equals 0, so either 2x equals 0, or the other product, which is 2x minus 1, equals 0. So either that equals 0, 2x equals 0, or 2x minus 1 equals 0. Okay. Now let's actually solve it. So if I divide both sides by 2, I get x equals 0. Okay. And for this one, I need to add 1 to both sides. So I get 2x equals 1, divide both sides by 2, I get x equals a half. As we can see, we've got our answer. So x equals 0 and x equals a half. Okay. We can do the same type of process for part F. Okay, so I've got 4x squared equals negative 12x. So if I go 4x squared and I add 12x to both sides, oops, let's try this again. So I've got 4x squared plus 12x equals 0. Factorize it because I've got one side equals 0 and the other side I need to make it a product of some sort. So the only way to get it back into the product is when we factorize it. So they're both going to 4x. So 4x, you're left with an x and a plus 3 equals 0. Okay. Since we've got two products of each other equaling 0, either this equals 0 or this equals 0. So 4x equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. So solving this, if you divide both sides by 4, x equals 0, or x equals, if I subtract 3 from both sides, x equals -3. So we've got our solution. So hopefully this gives you an idea. Now, as you can see in part A and B and C, it's already been done for us where everything's, all the terms on one side and the 0 on the other side. With D and F, you have to do that extra step. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to solve these self questions.